So YouTube CEO has actually reacted to all the AI changes that have been made to the platform, including AI age verification, and I feel like nobody knows about it. Shout out to this guy, John, for getting this interview with Neal Mohan, but unfortunately it's only gotten 27K views in 5 days, so a lot of people don't even know that this interview happened. So what I want to do is kind of signal boost this and actually react to what I'm most interested in, how Mr. Neal has reacted to the AI age verification. Logan Paul, of all people, was asking him about AI, and it kind of led into the conversation about AI age verification. But yeah, let's listen to this together and see what he has to say.
A lot of creators also have questions about YouTube's new AI age verification tool, where YouTube is using AI to estimate the age of a viewer. And if it's less than 18 years old, they'll be restricted from watching certain videos on YouTube. And especially for creators who have younger audiences, I've been talking to them, they're worried that their videos will get fewer views and they'll make less money from it. And beyond that, it may set a precedent for privacy, because to correct this AI estimation, if you are indeed above 18 years old, you have to give your credit card, your government ID, take a photo. So I'm wondering, why is this happening now? And is there truth to those concerns from these creators?
Yeah, no, thank you for asking, giving me a chance to respond to that. I mean, I'll just kind of first taking a step back. I mean, a lot of this comes from conversations that we have with parents and, obviously stakeholders in government and regulators and what have you, about concerns around young people. And of course, as you all know, there's young people on our platform. We have, for particularly young kids, we have YouTube Kids, of course. But we have, things like supervised experiences on YouTube. And so young people are on YouTube, and we want to make sure that that is a safe experience for them.
So obviously, to remain diplomatic, the interviewer John doesn't really press Neal too much on his answer there, but I actually want to go ahead and talk about what he said there. So he was talking about the fact that AI age verification came from conversation with parents, talking to governments, regulators about law and stuff like that, and trying to make the best decision based on that. And then he said, we also have YouTube Kids, and, we want to make sure the platform's safe for everybody. Well, the thing is with that, if parents come to Neal and say, hey, we want YouTube to be safer for the kids, well, also at the same time, shouldn't you be responsible for parenting your kids? As Neal said, there is a feature called YouTube Kids. If you feel like your kids aren't ready to handle some of the videos that they might find on YouTube, then just set up a YouTube Kids account and use it that way. And I know that Neal said it's for smaller kids, really young kids. Well, if parents want more moderated experiences where their kids don't run into, let's say, videos with swearing, well, wasn't that the whole point of the restricted mode on YouTube? When everybody started going crazy over restricted mode recently, didn't you guys all tell us, hey, restricted mode is just used by schools and parents that want to moderate their kids, so it's not on by default for anyone? Well, why don't the parents who are concerned about what videos their kids might see, why don't they just turn restricted mode on? Problem solved, right? I understand Neal's argument about the government and the regulators. I mean, at the end of the day, if the law says, hey, we need this stuff on your platform, they're essentially going to be under way more pressure to listen. But honestly, the whole argument of, oh, parents just want YouTube to be more safe for their kids, honestly, I feel like that's a pretty weak argument.
I'm a parent. I've got 3 kids that I, as a parent, can be comfortable with. And so that's the kind of strategic rationale behind age assurance. And this is a concept, of course, that is not new. It's been in place in other parts of the world for some time now. I think that was something that maybe got lost in a little bit of the discourse. So, for example, it's been a mechanism that's been in place in Europe for, I think, 3, 4, maybe even longer years now. And so we have some experience with it because it was mandated. And, there's obviously lots of government chatter around that type of concept here in the US. And so that's the backdrop. Yeah. In terms of how it works, I think it's really as the way you described, which is despite what that user might have said during the sign up for their YouTube account, it might be that a combination of signals are saying that it's actually a user that's under 18. And when that's the case, we want to make sure that that's an appropriate experience for that user, including all these features and functionality, take a break, well-being reminders, etc., take a break, etc., work in a way that they are designed to work for users under 18. That's the motivation. And I think that's sort of the context for it. In terms of the actual implementation and sort of the impact and what have you, it's still sort of very, very early days. My experience is it's going to lead ultimately to a better experience for users and therefore in the long run for creators.
So that's another slightly concerning thing about what Neal is saying. So he's basically saying, yeah, I'm not really sure about the long-term effects of this, and that's fair enough. I'm not saying he needs to be a seer that's looking into a magical ball telling us what's going to happen in the future, but He did say that he's not sure about the future implications of the AI age verification update, but in his experience, it's a better experience for creators. Yeah, so maybe just the timing of the interview being released is not great, but as we've discovered, most people are actually down on desktop views right now, ever since the AI age verification update dropped. YouTube seems to not be counting views coming from an ad blocker, and I know those two things seem unrelated, you know, ad blockers and the whole AI age verification thing, but ever since the AI age verification update, everyone's ad block views are now down at an all-time low. And I know we're still getting the monetization behind it. I've made a whole video talking about this if you want to go check it out. But we're already starting to experience some of the effects of the AI age verification. And obviously, the less views your video gets, the less it'll be recommended to other people. So it's been overall detrimental so far. As Neal implies, though, time will be the true teller. But so far, not so good.
If there is a misclassification, then there is sort of an escape valve, as you described, through whatever government ID or whatever sort of selfie mechanism there is. That is based on a set of technologies that are, I think, some of the most robust and sort of privacy safe in the world, sort of built with kind of Google technology. And of course, if you don't want to use those, and you don't have to, you can still use YouTube, obviously, in a logged out state, etc. And so that's a little bit of kind of the background on all of this. But I think the context of where it came from, it wasn't something that came out of the blue. It's something that I think I sort of alluded to back in my annual letter back all the way in February of this year. And so it's something that I sort of pre-announced back then, and it's something that we've been working very cautiously on with parents, with other stakeholders, with our creator community for months now, and obviously we'll have a gradual roll up on it. So it's something that we don't just sort of pull out of thin air. It's something that I've considered very deeply. It's what our teams have considered through multiple, product reviews, design reviews. Decision making at YouTube, just by definition, is always a trade-off between multiple different types of things, whether it's, making sure that the creator ecosystem is healthy, making sure that we're doing the right thing for users, particularly young users. And so all of that consideration and sort of thought and careful thought went into this feature. I want to assure everybody of that. And that's why we came to the conclusion that we did, and that's why we're approaching it the way that we're approaching it, because on balance, I think it's the right thing to do for our ecosystem on YouTube.
What about viewer? Like, I have a 2-year-old now, so my YouTube is like filled with like Bluey and Miss Rachel, or there's a lot of adults who watch Pokemon content. Is there a worry there that they'll be misclassified, and then ultimately the creator will lose out on those views from people who are over 18?
Mm-hmm. I think that's why we have the escape valve mechanisms that exist. So it's very easy to verify your age if you're misclassified for sort of whatever reason there. Rest assured that even the way that the algorithm works, the algorithm in terms of making this determination gets more sophisticated and better over time.
So another issue I have is with the whole AI age verification misclassification situation that the interviewer John brought up. So when you talk about a situation where we're going to get misclassified, and as Neal put it, we have an escape valve, which is to provide some sort of identification, whether it's an ID, video verification, selfie, things like that. I understand that no system is perfect and it's going to make mistakes, but it's pretty unfortunate that the only solution to, hey, our systems are the ones that got it wrong and you did nothing wrong at all, you have to now provide us ID to get all those features back that you now don't have anymore. So we made the mistake, but now we are requesting your information as a resolution to our mistake. You know what I mean? It's just like a really unfortunate situation. I do kind of understand the whole government aspect of it. I think that the parenting thing was a pretty bad argument, saying, oh, we're working with parents or whatever. First of all, parents need to go parent their goddamn kids instead of relying on everybody else to do it for them. No, websites should not have to babysit your children. You should be monitoring what the hell your kids do on the internet. And it's your fault if you're putting an iPad in front of your 5-year-old all day and they're watching YouTube and then they end up seeing something bad. I mean, I feel pretty passionately about that subject. Raise your damn children instead of expecting the internet and companies to do it for you. But regardless, other than that tangent, yeah, I don't like that the solution to the whole misclassification is, yeah, sorry, we made a mistake, but can we have your ID now?
Rest assured that even the way that the algorithm works, the algorithm in terms of making this determination gets more sophisticated and better over time. As I said, it's been something that we wouldn't have rolled out if I didn't feel like it operated at an incredibly high level of precision. So that's sort of the way that we've approached it. The use cases that you're describing are obviously ones that we've sort of thought about and we wouldn't have done it if it would lead to kind of all kinds of misclassification left and right.
So yeah, so that was basically it. So that was John's AI age verification part of the interview with Neal. There was a lot more questions that were asked about AI in general, new updates, YouTube TV and stuff like that. So if you're interested in all that, just look this video up. I asked YouTube CEO your hardest questions and you should be able to find this interview. But yeah, like I said, this is YouTube CEO directly addressing AI age verification. And this video only has 27K views. I actually thought that the interview for the most part was really well done. I guess it just fell under the radar. I mean, this was uploaded 5 days ago, and I only just saw this video like half an hour ago. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I just wanted to signal boost this and kind of give my thoughts on some of the stuff that Neal said. So at the end of the day, man, if Neal's argument is that they did this to try to follow government mandates and regulators and stockholders and all of that is fair and that all makes sense. But don't use the argument of, oh, we're working with parents and this was to make, you know, YouTube more safe for their kids, because parents need to parent their children and stop relying on other people to do it for them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. Please leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more.